Yeah,
They're not all going to be babies forever. Those 2 kids that you got out there are going to grow up and be adults like everybody in here.
learn some things.
And they're going to have, questions about certain things. And Freddie's kids are too. They're going to grow up and they're going to be like, why the fuck did you not take care of him? He doesn't think about those things. He's very narcissistic and only thinks about himself. And I wish I would have seen that, like I wish I would have seen that while we were together.
Was he there while you had your son?
No, I haven't talked to Freddie in like a year and a half.
You had to go through that both of these times.
Yeah.
That's painful. And I think that, like, when you think about what you're going through on, where people kind of just want to discredit you, right? Like, you're in the adult film industry and this and that they'll completely erase that human side away from you.
1,000%.
Like, oh, well, you know what? Like that, I just can't imagine it. I just put a post about this a couple of days ago. A friend of mine that, that we were mainly cool on social media, talk shit about sports. But the one thing I knew about him was he was a good dad.
Right.
And he lost his life recently.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
And for me, that day, the entire day around my daughter, I just was thinking like,
I saw that.
Never. I'm never gonna leave. Like I know it's inevitable that one day I can't be there, but I can't even imagine the day that mom's not around.
Right.
Like no matter what we go through, I'm with her.
Right.
It don't matter if we fight and tomorrow we break up and we're done for 10 years. You don't play with mommy and my son always has his mommy, but your son, your daughter should always have their daddy too.
Right. And I think that, I like I said, I used to read the comments and it was so weird. And the best way I can describe it is like I was living in a video game because I went from like being with this person, going around the world with this person, loving this person loving me publicly to never hearing from this person again. And I was pregnant and it was a boy. And I reached out to his whole... So that's so remember he left to Jimmy Fallon, right? And he was supposed to leave me the key to the car, whatever the fuck. And he was supposed to do that for me. And I realized when he left, I was like, where's the key to the Corvette? And he's like, oh, I forgot to leave it. I was like, I'm not about to Uber to the abortion clinic. Like you could have at least left the key, And he goes, it just slipped my mind. What the fuck you want me to do about it? And I was like, he's talking to me crazy. Like,
this ain't the normal.
This is not him. This is not him. And I told y'all, like, whoever I was talking to was not Freddie. I don't know who the fuck that was, but it was not him. And I said, you know what? If we're breaking up, I'm not spending the night here until you get back. I'm not staying in this house with all of our pictures up. And this is all. I'm gonna go get a hotel. And I'm not above saying I wasn't in the best financial situation at that point because I wasn't. I was constantly flying myself out to go meet him in different cities, paying all my own bills, like
trying to make it work. And
I took a huge pay cut when I stopped doing boy-girl scenes. Like that's a lot of money that I lost out on. And I remember I had like my last $500 and I just went and got a hotel. Me and my homegirl, she was with me. And I just realized then that like he wasn't the same person that I
So he's
loved.
Not the same person.
I don't believe him. I don't believe that. No.
That's fucked up.
And I say that to say, so when he went to Jimmy Fallon and he pissed me off, he didn't leave the car key. I shut off his phone because I was paying his phone bill.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds so.
No, fuck that.
Nah, shit, that shit
got me
sounds
fucked
real.
up.
You got me fucked up, bitch. You gonna have to land and buy a new phone, ho.
Yeah.
But when I did that, he had to change his phone number, so I couldn't reach out to him.
Damn, you kind of fucked yourself on that.
No, I didn't though, because I covered all my bases. I texted his mom, I texted his manager, I texted his assistant, and I told everybody. I said, I did not get the abortion. I sent Freddie emails. I said, I'm having this baby.
Okay.
The same mom that pulled me aside in Hawaii that said, my son has never loved somebody this way. will not respond to my fucking text. And I sent her pictures of her grandbaby.
That means
she knows.
Yep.
She knows that's her grandbaby.
Yep.
She knows that baby looks just like her son. You know, and I feel like she feels like she can't say nothing, you know, because
her hands are kind of tied.
Her hands are tied, and that's whatever. But at the end of the day, I covered all my bases. You know, and people can believe that it's not his son, and she does porn. Y'all saw the photo. I don't have to lie. Like, I wish he wasn't the father. You know, like I wish it wasn't this way.
At this point, yeah.
But that's what it is.
Yo, I'm new to it, so it's a feeling that I'm feeling right now.
My son will be 8 months. Like, my son will be 8 months next month. We haven't heard a word from Freddie. He don't send no money for him. He don't check on him. He don't
crazy.
ask
money,
about him.
And all that shit don't get me wrong, it's important, right? Like the money and the financial and shit like that. But
it's really
not
to me,
the most
though.
important thing is presence.
Yeah, like I'm good. I make money on my own.
Yeah.
I always have been independent. Like I said, I never got with Freddie for money. He don't even have money like that. Like, I don't know why people think he has all this money. Yeah, like
that's what people normally thinks about rappers and shit like that, because they rap about it.
No, literally he has a rug in his house that smells like dog piss. Like, he don't have it like that.
Destiny, stop it.
He don't have it like that. And that's another thing.
He's got a big dog pissing on it.
Everybody's like, "Oh my God, you trapped him!" Like,
bitch.
I would never trap Freddie Gibbs.
For this?
If y'all only knew the people I had access to.
Yeah, he trapped.
Like, I won't.
He trapped you.
I'm not.
But it sounded like
nothing.
that ever since you were piggybacking him around, though.
I was piggybacking him. Yeah. I left a very big rapper on red when I was with Freddie. A very big rapper.
Yeah, she told us before. Now I'm fucking with you.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, I was like I said, I was loyal. You could do everything right, and you could still get fucked over.
Bro, they ain't no rhyme or reason.
And so back to the Benny situation, though, like you were asking me, like, how did we kind of reconcile? So a fan had DM'd him and asked if Fit Mommy could have her chain back. He was like, yeah, she could have it back. And so he then reached out to me. He was like, let's get on a FaceTime call. And so we were talking, and he was like, I'm really sorry about everything that happened. You were never supposed to be involved in any of that, and you can have your chain back. He was like, we can meet up anywhere, anytime, and I'll give you your chain back. And I was like, I'm not going to meet up with you while I'm pregnant because I still feel very unsafe.
Smart.
You know, but after I have my son, we can meet up and I'll get my jewelry from you. And so that's what I did. He gave me my jewelry. And then everybody was mad at me. Like, oh, you're fucking with the ops. I'm like, this dude left me with a baby. He is my op.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be loyal to somebody who has shown you over and over that they will betray you. They will cut you and watch you bleed out. You know what I'm saying?
You this shit earlier.
Like, at that point, I don't owe you loyalty anymore.
Rules are off, bro. Like,
all that shit is dead. Yeah. And at that point, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You feel me? So me and Benny made up, and
the butcher's coming.
And and people love to say, like, how could you link up with somebody that beat you up? And I'm like, first of all, Benny never touched me. Let's start there.
First of all.
And secondly, it almost healed a wound for me because I was scared of Benny for a long time after that. Oh, shit. And to kind of have that closure and meet up with him and realize he is just a human and he was never trying to hurt me, and he's actually a really cool dude that just got shots fired at him for no reason, and he had to handle that however he handled that, you know. But that's the homie.
He was talking about it, right? Trust more valuable than love.
Yeah, you know and it's just like we were able to establish this friendship, and people are so confused. Like, why are your baby daddy don't like him? I'm like, my baby daddy don't like me or his son.
They don't got all the details.
So why do I?
That's what it is.
He just hit me.
Who?
And told me, like, that's the homie. That's, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, Benny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. Right?
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for him, and I have I feel like that I was never supposed to be there. Right. And the person that put me in that situation was not Benny.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, for a long time I felt very fucked up about it. Like I would read the comments like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're a porn star. He never wanted to be with you. He was just telling you what you wanted to hear." I'm like, I never wanted to hear anything. Like I was on the rise of my career. I never said I wanted a baby.
He told me he wanted.
Yeah, because they look at it and they think that he was the catch.
Right, but he wasn't. And I'm like, you're telling me that Erica, Teresa, Raven, and myself, all of his baby mamas, you're telling me we're all fucking crazy?
I just felt like a DMX song started. It was Erica, Teresa.
Like,
Erica.
and I was able to, and when I first got with Freddie, like he was telling me his baby mamas are all crazy,
Red
all
flag,
this stuff.
Red flag.
And I kind of wanted to like be that piece for him. You know, like I'll never have him pay for my stuff. I would pay for the groceries in his house. Like I really was trying to make his life easier.
Of course, that's how it goes.
Because I loved him. I cared about him.
And you don't want to be what?
And then when I met his baby mamas, I met Erica, and she was like really nice to me. And I was like, why is he speaking so ill about this woman?
Is this the same person that?
Like you made her out to be a villain, and she's totally chill. And then I met his other baby mama. She was totally chill. Like...
It's a trend going on here. What's going on?
And then, you know, like me and Raven, we didn't really hit it off. She wasn't a fan of me. But like in hindsight, everything she was telling me about bro was true.
Super
you feel me? So I wish I would have listened to her. Like she told me, she was like, the only reason he brought you to Europe is because he has that rape charge and he can't fuck with no Europe bitches.
Oh,
and I'm like,
damn. All the details
in
coming
the
out.
moment, that's not what I wanted to hear.
Of course.
I was like, that's not why he took me to Europe.
Right.
Yeah.
He actually cares about me.
Yeah, you're like, that shit sound crazy. But then you think about it and you're like,
I'm like, oh my God, she's right. Like, I think even in that moment, I knew she was right. But I didn't want to admit that.
Nah, you got to save face. Naturally, you got to save face.
But, you know, she was right. And she was telling me the truth. And she said a lot of choice words and stuff. But she's passionate about the fact that she had a baby with a man that can't step up. But I didn't realize any of this till after I was already pregnant. Because when I was with him,
that's the craziest part.
And the babies were at our house, I could show you photos. All the kids in his lap. Everybody like happy, like.
Is he still going with the narrative that it's not his?
Yes.
But isn't that easily proven or disproven?
I mean, I can easily get a DNA test done.
Like if we had to.
I really like, and I know Freddie's going to listen to this podcast. Because he ghost tagged me in an Instagram story like 2 weeks ago. Like he tagged me, but he made my at name so little that nobody knew he mentioned me, but he wanted me to see what he said. And I'm like, literally the only words I could muster up was, I'm not about to go back and forth with you. And then he blocked me.
Funny games.
But my thing is like, let me ask you, because you're a grown man.
Okay.
If I'm pinning a baby on you and you know the baby's not yours.
Prove it.
What's the first thing you're going to do?
Let's prove it. Let's get it out.
Why have you not shut me up? If it's not your baby, why have you not shut me up? Because you know it's your baby, and you don't want to face the music. And guess what? Chrome is gonna be a man one day.
Word.
He's not gonna be a little baby forever.
That's not going away.
You saw what he looked like. I don't have to lie. Like I put my whole life on the internet. And people, that's another thing I wanted to touch on too, is like, I worked while I was pregnant. You know, like when we were planning our baby, Freddie was like, when you get pregnant, I'm going to send you to Hawaii. I want you to just relax. And I was like, I would love that.
Yeah, but.
And then when I got pregnant and he disappeared, I didn't know what to do. Like I told you, I wasn't in the best financial situation. I didn't have a whole lot of money saved up. And my bills were well over $15,000 a month.
Yeah.
And
you gotta do it.
I created this lifestyle, right? Like I had to maintain it. Right. No other job was gonna get me there, but continuing to. I didn't even know pregnancy porn was a thing until I got the opportunity to do it, and I cleared hundreds of thousands of dollars in like 2 months.
Yeah, that was pretty controversial at the time that he was doing born pregnant.
It was.
And
it
people
was.
knew who the father was.
And that's the only reason it was controversial, because people knew who the father was. There's so many bitches on Pornhub that are pregnant doing porn. Do you think that they're getting fucking hate comments? No.
I mean, they also don't really look like you, so it's not as.
And that's
it's
fine,
not
but
the same.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I didn't want to do pregnant porn. That was not on my to-do list. Right. But I also didn't want to be alone and pregnant. I didn't want to be
broken pregnant.
You feel me? Like I had to get my money. I had to get my fucking cake up. I was about to have 2 kids.
Word.
I don't know if I agree with it personally, but it's not my life.
You don't have to.
Exactly. You know
what I'm saying? Exactly. You don't because what would you have done in my situation?
Whatever the fuck I need to do to support this baby.
Exactly.
So.
And
that's the thing. Again, I'm somebody that we started off doing this podcast shit that I'm like, I'm against anybody with OnlyFans. I don't fuck with bitches with OnlyFans, right? And then I started hearing the stories, and like it's always about speaking to somebody and learning. Always. No matter what. Brittany Renner comes here. I'm like, I started off, I try to tell her this shit and let me finish my thought at that time. Bro, and I was like, I started off hating you.
She ruined that
but
for herself,
it was based off of,
she took it the wrong
and she's
way.
like, oh, but you started off hating me. Why? But she never let me finish my thought. And what I was saying is, I don't fucking know. The only thing I'm seeing is shit on social media. I have no idea. I came to a judgment and I made a mistake. Cool. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to get off. And most...
I wish you could have got that off because that would have went so different.
It probably would change the entire landscape of the conversation. But it's okay. That's what it's supposed to be at that time. You understand? Right. You know what I mean? And that is why we have conversations like today where I could say, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? But a lot of people won't try to understand what you go through. They're only going to say, well, if it was me, I would do this. But you know what else is true? They will. Those people would obviously never get themselves to a point where they even got $15,000 a month in bills.
Right.
So they can't even talk about it. Right. Like their bills are $637, or they don't pay any bills.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're saying that based off of that mindset.
And it was, like I said, like doing pregnancy porn was never something I saw myself doing. I actually remember telling my sister, as soon as my belly starts showing, I'm not going to do this no more. And it got to a point where how the fuck I would have lost my house, my car, my everything.
Yeah. That
shit
don't stop.
And I can explain all this to my son one day, and I'm woman enough to do that. And I'm woman enough to do whatever I need to do to make sure my kids eat. And if his millionaire father is not going to step up and help me out, he knew that I was doing porn. If he didn't want me to do porn while I was pregnant with his child, he would have made sure I never had to.
So is millionaire quote unquote, or is he a millionaire father?
He's like he's a millionaire.
Okay.
But as soon as he stops yapping, he's not gonna be a millionaire no more. Yeah. He don't have residual. That's why he's doing the coffee, the rabbit roasters, the fucking rabbit wine. Yeah. You're selling a beverage, like I said in that song. That's what I meant. Yeah. And so, I've never said anything about Freddie that wasn't true. And he's saying all these things on his features. Like I was 8 months pregnant when I heard this shit. He was like, you couldn't trap me with triplets, ho, I'm living it. And I'm like, okay, bars, but like you trap me. You're living your life.
He couldn't even tweet that unless you kept the phone bill on.
Right. And I'm like, you at the end of the day though, I know he's looking in the mirror and I know he's upset with himself. I know he's miserable. I know that he knows that baby is his.
So that's him in the comment section.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, no, he's watching.
Honestly, that's my favorite thing.
He's definitely watching, and like, I don't have to lie about nothing. I put my whole life on the internet because I've chosen to. Yeah. I was fucking while I was pregnant. What is anyone going to do about it?
The thing was, it doesn't seem like it now, but I know, like, the narrative, at least from my point of view, it seemed like it was out of spite. Like, fuck this nigga.
No, I had to make money. I was a porn star before I met him. I was a porn star during my relationship with him. What did anybody expect me to do? Y'all are putting Candace Owens' expectations on a porn star.
Real.
I'm Candace Owens, bitch. Like, don't put...
I don't think we cheers yet.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was great.
But that's the thing. It's like, y'all, he knew that. He knew I was a porn star.
Right. No surprise.
It's not like he didn't know.
Yeah. He applauded it, actually, right?
He loved it.
Kind of weird, but,
He loved it.
Clearly.
And you know what? I know that porn is not for everybody. I myself don't watch porn. I make a lot of it. but I don't try to push my career onto people, you know. But it's always people that like bag groceries at the grocery store or like fucking do a weird ass job that are like hating on me.
Yeah.
None of y'all are hating on me.
They can't possibly comprehend the life that you live or what you've been through.
I've been through a lot.
They don't know that you went to the military
like
17 years old. They don't know.
I've really been through a lot, and you
broke
know,
her face open. You know
and
what I'm
like I say,
number one.
like I say to everybody, is like we're all living the human experience, and I really feel like we're all just walking each other home, and I don't feel like I sit high enough to judge anybody. Yeah. You know, but Freddie, like you,
each other home. That's fire.
That's a bar, right? That's a bar.
You really could be there for your son.
That's some. I ain't got.